Well, welcome for week 2, Andy. I appreciate you joining me today. And it's day after Father's Day. So, did you do anything fun over the weekend with your dad?
Yeah, we were able to get out and dodge the raindrops and play a round of golf yesterday. So it's
Awesome.
always fun. It's always good to get to out play some golf with Dad. I don't think there's many experiences that are better father-son bonding than the golf course.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. All right. So last week we talked about just kind of your research, the process you went through and trying to decide to move on to ProShop. I'd love to talk a little bit about sort of what the process was once you decided and sort of what happened with our team, and getting into the training, and if you'd share some of your thoughts and experiences with that.
Yeah, so once we obviously made the decision to go with ProShop, we were contacted within a day or so, I would say. I don't remember the exact time frame, but pretty quickly, to do an initial questionnaire on kind of what we've got now. And then we also were instructed to fill out a couple of Excel spreadsheets for basic data entry.
Mm-hmm.
And then we set up a kickoff meeting for kind of an interview with a member of your team to place us with a trainer that would be well suited to best serve us.
Okay, awesome. Can you share your screen? Can you share your screen and kind of walk us through a little bit of what that looked like on your end?
Yeah, maybe. Technology.
Perfect, here it comes.
So the initial form that we filled out is what you're seeing on your screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of just some basic information about our company. Obviously for us, it was all my contact information kind of redundant, but so we filled out that form. Then it's pretty cool that we were able to schedule a meeting, and I like the ability that we were able to pick a time that on our terms.
Yeah, based on your time zone and everything, sure. Yep.
Yeah, so that worked out good. And then we obviously clicked on these links here to a couple of spreadsheets to fill out information that you guys were then able to set up inside of our actual platform, which I can actually pull up.
Yeah, so we, as you know, but just to explain for people watching, we do a bunch of work to configure every ProShop system with all the work cells that a company has. So we can get that all loaded into the work cells module on day one. And yeah, so Andy has a whole mess of machines and equipment. And those are used for scheduling and for routers. And so we get all that stuff into the system right at the beginning, and we do that with the employees as well. But yeah, so those got then loaded into your system, and what happened next after that?
Yeah, so after a couple of days, well, ProShop obviously uploaded all the information and got our system all set up. But then we were contacted by our trainer, and we worked kind of a kickoff meeting together to discuss how we wanted the training to look and when we wanted to meet. So we started off with that, and Vince gave me a rundown of what we were going to do, how the training was going to work. And then, I wanted to get moving right away. So we actually met on a Monday and started training on a Wednesday.
Oh, nice. That's fast. Okay, cool. And then so how can you share a little bit about that ProShop work order and how we kind of are keeping track of the work that you're doing with Vince?
Yeah. So basically the way that the training works for ProShop is that we actually utilize a typical work order, and each step or each sequence operation number is another level of the training that's got to be done. And you'll see on your screen here what that looks like. And some of those are obviously items that the ProShop team needs to complete on their own. And some of them are items that I have to complete on my own. Some of them are kind of work together, and then some of them are just review and practice items.
Right. Yeah, in that resource column, the third column over, you'll see that's the resource of kind of who's in charge of that particular task there, right after the operation description. So some of them are the pro shop lead, some of them are different users, some of them are the implementation specialist, which would be on our side. Yeah, and then so then when you do those things, you're signing off actually in two different places, right? So we have that. We're actually using. It's kind of funny how we do this, but we're actually using our inspection capability in that first article complete column to buy off on all the sub requirements of that operation. And then when the whole operation is done, then we sign off the whole operation. So yeah, so that one has that. I know 60.4 has some good checkoffs. You want to pull that one up? So we go into the first article form, and then basically just a go no go, and we sign off on all those learning objectives. So, and did you give us a no go on anything, and then recover that topic with Vince? Sometimes
No,
that
I don't
happens.
believe we've had any of those
So
at
you
this point in
understood it
time.
all well enough on the first go around.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And then all the training sessions, which are all done through screen-based sharing, are all recorded and provided to you as video links, so you could go back and watch those later if you did forget something.
Yeah, and that's been a big asset for us in helping us to learn. And also, I feel like it's going to be something that we're going to utilize when we go to do our training, when we start working down the ladder of training our employees.
Mm-hmm.
We've already, I know we recently used that as we're trying to get our equipment all set up inside of ProShop, and the data entry, the ability to upload the data entry. We actually went back with a video. I re-recorded the video and I just shared it with my sister, our office
Mm-hmm.
manager, and she was able to enter all that information in and follow what Vince and I did in our meeting to go
Right.
through and do it herself.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and we hear clients as well. They tell us that, let's say they hire an employee 6 months or a year later, they'll often just have them go watch a couple of videos on the topic that they need to know about, and then they start from there. So hopefully that'll be a good resource for you for a long time.
Yeah, that's definitely a very strong resource, along with the actual videos that are inside of each step.
Right.
So, in some instances, I'm able to utilize those to go back to help relearn what I might have forgotten that
Mm-hmm.
after a day or two of
Sure.
work getting what Vince taught me. Or in
Yeah.
some cases, I've actually been able to kind of watch the videos prior to our
Oh,
lesson
nice.
in the evening and kind of get a good understanding of what we're going to go over. So that way, Vince and I are able to do a deeper, more specific dive into our company and how those lessons are applied in our company.
You're a model student, Andy. Not everyone does the video watching before their meetings, so that's awesome. That's awesome. So
I need that I need that compliment. Take that back to high school and rub that in.
to your teachers, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I could have used that too. So how many times have you met with Vince now?
um, I
And
think
what schedule are you? Or are you meeting on like a twice a week, 3 times a week schedule?
yeah, we initially started on 3 times a week, but I kind of didn't really like that because
Okay.
the time difference. It works best to meet in the evenings,
Okay,
and
sure.
I didn't really like sticking around the shop so late in the evenings 3 nights a week. So we've
Right.
expanded out a little bit longer sessions, 2 nights a week.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Um, yeah, I believe we're about probably 5 weeks in. I think if I remember correctly.
Okay. All right. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you've covered.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, Any other just sort of thoughts or anything about your process? I know you've been excited, like you said, about the tooling module, about maintenance and calibration and stuff, and we'll talk about that in the next session. But any other things you've been particularly interested in or excited about?
Well, I think that the really cool thing about the way that you guys go about your training is that you see how everything kind of works together as you're going through the training. So you understand like this is why things are done that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're able to kind of train as we go. I mean, whereas you're just picking up, like, the tooling is something that I'm obviously very excited about, and you see how that's being pulled into the work orders themselves as we're learning about them.
Mm-hmm. So are you thinking you're going to dive straight into the tooling module right off the get-go and start putting those into your jobs right
Oh,
away?
yeah, that's definitely something, we're starting to work on putting those into our jobs right now,
Awesome.
and we're actually going through and getting all the tooling data into the system, which is quite the process. You don't realize how many tools you have around the shop until you actually go
Mm-hmm.
around and write them all down. Um, but we're really excited about that for certain.
Nice. And are you using the CSV importing tool for getting those tools into the system?
We're using them a little bit, but
Okay.
because of how much information we really want to include in the tooling modules,
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of going one by one so that way we can make sure we
Okay.
have everything in there the way we like
Right.
it.
Okay. All right. Well, just so you know, if you can import any attribute. So if there was, let's say there was 100 different attributes or fields in the tooling module, you could have a spreadsheet with 100 columns, get a bunch of, 100 to 1,000 tools all in there and then do it in one fell swoop. But it's, doing it one by one also works perfectly great as you're doing it. So are you kind of looking at like the first jobs you're going to run, making sure those ones are filled in with the roughing tools, the finishing tools, the part off tools, those kinds of things?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're starting to kind of try to pick through jobs that we can try to follow through the shop,
Yep.
and be able to get a true process, every step of the process,
Awesome.
nailed down, and that way we can try to do the training the way that it's meant to be done. And with those parts that we're looking at doing first, we're trying to get the tooling in there, make sure that the equipment's in there, the calibration, make sure the
Hmm.
machine centers are all set up, and
Right.
everything, so that way when we run them through the shop, we'll see how smoothly it progresses.
That's fantastic. Yeah, to be honest, a lot of shops, ProShop is a big system, I'm sure, as you can already tell. And even doing something like getting the cutting tools into it and starting managing their cutting tools in ProShop is often a step that they wait a little while on, right? They just get the bare bones stuff for jobs and their routings, cycle times, and all that. But yeah, it sounds like you're already sort of realizing what impact ProShop can have by getting all the tools in there, making it easier to do purchasing, making sure you have all the tools when you go to set up your job, so you're not scrambling at the last minute to go get a tool you don't have. We talked about that last week, like a special tap. Um, so you are a model student, Andy. You're doing you're doing awesome. This is great. This is great. Um, cool. Well, is there any other sort of tidbits or pearls of insight or things that you've had, or should we let you get back to work here?
No, I mean, like we said, I'm definitely love all the elements, the way that you guys work us through the actual work order, um, and the training help that's available both on the inside the work order, and then I know we probably could dive in a little bit to what's available through the online system. And I've only played with this a little bit, but
Hmm.
there's just so many resources on this as well to try to help understand and pick up, because there's, like you said, there's just so much in Pro Shop to learn.
Yeah. Yep. It's definitely a big system. So, well, cool. Well, awesome, Andy. Well, thanks again for this session. I hope you have a great rest of your week and look forward to talking to you next time and digging into some of the details of what you're doing with tools and maybe, do you think you'll be running jobs in the next week, or when do you
Um,
think you're doing that?
we probably, I don't think we're going to get to jobs this week. We've got a couple that are about a week and a half out that we're kind of targeting that those
Oh, okay.
jobs are going to go through the shop at the very least on a very high level, kind of basic process through the shop, get
Hmm.
everything, see how well it works out.
Right.
But I think they're probably about a week and a half out, I would say, on our time frame to do that. But
All right.
definitely our target this week is to get a lot of our tooling data entered and have that available. So hopefully we'll really be able to do a deep dive into that next week.
Cool. And one last question, I guess. Have you done anything, or what have you been doing with shop floor computers?
Um, we're utilizing kind of we're keeping an eye on what you've recommended on your homepage there,
Hmm.
and we're starting to work on that right now, but we haven't exactly got those out. Our plan is to roll it out to a few people with the laptops we have available in the shop, and
Hmm.
then once we get a feel for how we want to work that, kind of keep adding a couple more workstations and get it all worked in. So we want to see how things go before
Hmm.
we invest in a bunch of equipment, to just know what will work best for us.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart. I think that's a really smart strategy. Just to see, because every shop is a little bit unique, whether machinists and folks have the majority of their time where they're always at the same machine, or they're jumping around between machines all the time, and how close your machines are, and if one person's running multiple machines. So there's a lot of variables that feed into sort of what's going to work best for any particular shop, and or even in an area in the same shop. So I think that's a good
Yeah,
strategy to start with some laptops and then kind of tailor it from there.
yeah, and
So
I like the information you guys have provided us with the what other shops have done with their workstations, and we're using that to kind of help us base our decisions on too. So that's really cool.
right on. Very good. All right. Well, we'll let you get back to it, but thanks again for this time with you, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, Paul. Have a
All
nice
right.
week. Look forward to
All
seeing
right.
you next week.
All right. Thanks, Andy. Bye bye.